Hello to all my beautiful people. It is a very beautiful and glorious day, as you can see behind me. It's your one and only girl, Miss Nicole Latrice, in the kitchen, about to do what I do best, what I love doing, what fuels my life, and that is my love of baking. So if you see me step off camera, that means I'm running to go grab something. If you see me looking off into the distance, hey, I keep all my recipes filed electronically. So, I got to make sure that I get it right. I got a lot of recipes and trying to remember them all, it's just like, it doesn't happen for me usually. So today I am making my famous, I'm actually making two different recipes. The first one I'm making is my wonderful red velvet cake. Like, it is super moist. I mean, super, super moist. And I'm not usually a red velvet type person. I actually used to not like it. And then I played with a couple different variations, put my arm in it instead of my foot. Putting feet and stuff is just, it's nasty. But anyways, I played around with some recipes, figured out which one works for me, which one is going to yield the best results. And ever since then, like, I've loved it. Like, it's actually one of my favorites. And it's not only because I made it, it's because of the way the flavor composition comes together. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull that up so then we can get right into this topic that we're talking about today. Baking and talking real stuff. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so I got my ingredient list, and before I start anything, I do like to wash my hands. Washing your hands is an absolute must. I use Castile soap, the rose tip. Oh my God, like, let me tell you, it smells divine. Got my hands washed. Go ahead and get them dried. Ella, out. You don't belong in the kitchen. Now, you may hear me tend to say that a lot. If you hear me say Ella out or Coltrane out, those are my two fur babies. When mommy's in the kitchen doing what she does, they get nosy. They start inching in here, and I'm like, no. At the same time, I am not just making this for me. I was supposed to make this actually last week when my birthday happened, because me and my leasing agent at the company that I now work for, our birthdays are like 2 days apart. She's the 21st of February and I'm the 23rd. Pisces, man. We the best. Shout out to DJ Khaled. Not really. Okay, so now I am trying to put these gloves on, because when you're working with food with other people that other people are going to consume, maybe I am a medium. I didn't think that I was. That's going to stink. No, it's just because my hands are still somewhat damp from washing them just a minute ago. But when you're working with food with other people that other people are going to consume, you always want to practice safety. If you have your food handler's permit, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have your food handler's permit, it is gloving up for food that you're going to be eating with other people, or that other people is going to be consuming that you prepare. So what I want to talk to y'all about today while I am baking, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I said that I was making two separate recipes. I got on a tangent about the red velvet. That one is still going down. It's slapping. And then the other one that I'm going to make, the red velvet, I'm going to do it in a cake, double-layered cake with some frosting in the middle, cream cheese frosting around the sides, some chocolate jimmies, and some red chocolate curls. That's what the plan is for that one. And then the other one I'm doing, I am making some of my famous, y'all say it's famous, hey, I'll just go with it, my Hennessy butter pecan cupcakes. I'm probably going to break it up into two separate videos. Maybe I'll talk about one thing in one video and then figure out something else to talk about in the second video. But we're going to make this happen. So right now, first, it is the red velvet. And what we're going to be talking about while I'm doing this is make sure you come with that same energy. That's the topic and the title of this video. Come with that same energy. Now, we all have been tested. We all have had people come at us sideways. We all have had a moment where it's just like, yeah, make sure you come with that same energy. Me and the company that I work for now and the position that I'm in, I interact with a lot more people face to face, more than what I'm used to. And I don't think that I fully just took into account what that was going to look like in real life. And I've had to make some serious adjustments, because before, how I kind of came to be the person that I was used to being, I'll put it to you like that. The person that I was used to being, I understood how to function for everybody else. I invested myself in everybody else's mess. I tried to get everybody else to be the best that I thought that they could be, but some of them weren't even nowhere near that. I knew how to help. I knew how to empathize. I knew how to provide emotional support when they didn't even have their own. That was me, right? Up until a few years ago. It's not to say that I'm still not that person. It's just that's not forthcoming. That's not how I choose to lead. So then after that, I was like, okay, well, I still like to help people. I still have this calling in me to facilitate assistance that people need, whether it's emotional support, a sounding board, whatever the case may be. That's still in me. That's a part of my true characteristics. So it don't just go nowhere. So I was like, all right, let me channel it. Lo and behold, the work in progress. My life coaching business was erected. It took off, and it's still, serving my community. So it's like, okay, this evolution is looking good. I'm liking where this is going. Let's fully step into and enter a season of service. Once I said I was open to that, man, what was brought to me was hey, here's this position. It's an assistant property manager position. It's okay, I ain't never did no leasing, but I've supervised other people. I help people in the businesses that I have for them. I'm a boss myself, if I do say so myself. And so I was like, all right, cool. So now that I'm in the position, I've been in the position since November, but it feels like forever. Now that I'm in the position, I'm starting to see some of the other challenges that could possibly be faced, in interacting with residents in the leasing space. Because just a little bit of background, in my position, I'm the bad guy. I'm the one, if you are delinquent on your rent, I'm calling you. If you have a voicemail that's not set up, I'm emailing you. If none of those work, I'm posting something on your door. One way or another, you're going to receive correspondence from me that you have a balance that is owed. Okay, so that's one aspect. The other aspect is I'm kind of considered the resident liaison, if you will. So if there's ever a customer complaint, a customer issue, anything like that, all roads lead through your girl. Which I'm like, all right, cool. I've had instances where people have cussed me out. They've talked to me crazy. They've been in our office showing they whole okay, and I'm just like, oh, okay. This position is going to require more of me, and I'm gonna get to bacon in just a second, but I just got to get this first part out. This position, hang on one second. Okay, and I'm back. This position, this current career position that I'm in, is requiring things of me that I didn't even know, like, that I needed to be mindful of in this space. So it's just like, between myself and my leasing agent, we're the ones really, you know, that get the most that comes at us. And there was a time where, and like I said, I've been through this too, but there was a time where, you know, I had a conversation with my leasing agent. I hope she doesn't get upset because I'm sharing this. I've been told about that just recently. But anyways, that's a whole other story. But I want to talk about it because it also happened for me. There are times where someone is going to have an off day, right? Whether it's someone around you directly, someone around you indirectly. Like, we are consistent forces of energy. We give off energy and we get it in return. So there have been times where, even for me, someone or something has thrown off my energy. Like, you could have a plan for things to go a specific way and it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it can throw off your energy, because the energy that's being given off that you expect to get in return is nowhere near like what you thought it was going to be. This happens a lot, especially when it comes to interacting with other people. You can be on one energy level, feeling good, feeling great, having just the best day, loving life, a perfect vision of how your life is shaping up and where it's going at that time. And then someone else can come along the way with a different energy frequency, and it can throw everything off for us in a split second. So that's why I say come with that same energy. It is not on some, you know, knuck if you buck, ready to fight type thing. It's nothing like that. It is, when I say come with that same energy, or make sure you match that same energy, it is a means to give a rally call to say you are in charge of the energy that surrounds you. You have your own force field. Your energy force field can decide to repel and push away that additional energy, or it can attract and allow you to absorb that energy. But you have the option to say, hey, like, what you got going on right now, it ain't got nothing to do with me. The energy frequency that it is that you decide that you want to be on, that ain't got nothing to do with me, and I don't have to match your energy. Step off for 1 second. I got to grab something, and I'll be right back. I'm still here. Give me just 1 second. Got some of my baking supplies in other places. Got to make sure I get it all. I'm probably going to take off this hoodie too, because I am hot. Oof. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I keep a lot of flour and sugar in big bags, and I have to keep it in a secure and stored place, dry and stored place, so that way no critters or crawlers get into it. So yeah, it's more so of, most people will say protect your peace. I believe it's not even just only about protecting your peace, it's about protecting your energy as well. And if someone is not on the same energy that you're wanting to be on, that's okay. They're human. They're going to have experiences outside of what it is that you have going on right now. But keep in mind, like I said, you don't have to match that energy. The same thing is especially true when you get into a situation where words are exchanged. Because when you have a conversation, when we have conversations, we don't realize that the majority of the time with the conversation, it comes down to not only just the words that you say, it's also about how it's received. Because a conversation should be a two-way street. It should be you saying what you need to say. That person absorbs and processes what they need to process of the conversation. And then they give the same in return. They give their side, or they give their opinion, or they share their thoughts. So then it's your turn to allow them that space to do so. Take in what they're saying, process it according to your understanding, and have a conversation. That doesn't always happen the majority of the time. Sometimes in conversations, like if somebody says something that we honestly don't like, you feel some type of way. And when you feel some type of way, most people, I will go so far as to say that when they feel some type of way in the midst of a conversation, they feel like they've been slighted, they feel like they've been judged, they feel like they've been talked about, they feel like they've been wronged, whatever the case may be, then they try to inflict some sort of pain or some sort of harm or some sort of ill will because of the fact that they feel that they have also been wrong. But that is not always what happens. Sometimes it is a matter of just a misunderstanding. You're still two people working on processing the same information from two totally different perspectives. You have your own opinion. You have your own thoughts. You have your own ideas about what you think actually happened or what you think this person is actually meaning to say. It's a whole lot of variables that go into having a conversation that people don't take into account. And then it's like, it's the whole thing of like, sometimes that's even present when people have their guard up. If your guard is up, then you could possibly feel like, well, this person is meaning to do me harm. And that may not necessarily be the case. That person can just be delivering information as it's needed, but the information that's being given is actually pretty tough to have to deliver. Not every conversation that you're going to have with someone is going to be like 100% hunky-dory, like all butterflies, rainbows, and unicorns. Shout out to my child. Sometimes you're going to have difficult and tough conversations, but that doesn't mean that there is malice or ill will behind having those conversations. And if you are intentional about the energy that you're willing to receive, that comes from someone's words too. If you know this person, like really know this person, and you're wanting to be able to be in a space to have good conversation with them, baby, you got to take the good and the bad. You can't pick and choose. You can't play victim. You can't turn it into the type of situation to where it's like you become the... That was the top to my storage container. You can't play the victim. You can't have everything work and cater to fit your narrative because there's someone else on that other side. Someone else that you're engaging in that conversation with. But it's about matching the energy. If that person is just trying to deliver the information, then just receive the information. If that even if you do that and you feel like that person like, nah, they got me messed up, speak on it. Put that energy out there. Let the other person know that, hey, like, I heard what you're saying, but this is how I feel. And I am not exempt from that. I am working on that as well, because there are a lot of ways that I feel about myself and other people feel differently. And sometimes the way, Coltrane, hey! Sometimes the way I feel about myself is not how the other person is meaning to come off. But because I operate from my own standpoint first, that's what I lead with. That's where my understanding comes from. That's where my misunderstanding comes from. And I'm working on that. Hold on one second. Hold on, I'm coming. I want YouTube to be trying to fill my video up with so many ads and stuff like that, because when I bake, I have music going on in the background and it's just a whole vibe. But lately, in the video, some of the videos that I posted recently, YouTube has said that they're going to put ads in it because whatever. But that I ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm back. So yeah, like just when it comes to match that energy, like think about your frequency. Think about where you are. Think about where you want to be. Think about the energy that it is that you're like attempting to give off, and be mindful of that. And if someone else is on the complete opposite frequency, let them be, but you don't have to match it. I had made a reference a minute ago, like this is ever true with words. When you're in an argument or a disagreement, because a disagreement can escalate into an argument, whenever there is a heated conversation and emotions are flying and words are flying too, like if that's not the position that you're trying to be in, if somebody is up here and you're down here, stay down here if that's where you want to be. Because eventually this person is either going to continue to be up here, and then you can say, hey, like, you know, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but you keep yelling, you keep cussing, you keep doing all this stuff that's escalating. That ain't where I'm trying to be. So when you're ready to have a conversation, we can sit down and have a conversation. Or what I've noticed in my current career position is when someone's up here and I stay down here, they start to come down and we meet. But being intentional about the energy that surrounds you, the energy that it is that you're giving off, the energy that it is that you're willing to receive, please take it from me. This is a true life experience that I am sharing with each of you right now. You do not have to be on the same energy as everybody else if that's not where you're trying to be. If it don't produce no positive results, if it makes you more miserable, if it stresses you out, don't do it. You come first. And in matching your own energy, because if you want everybody else to come with that energy, come with that same energy, you got to do that for yourself as well. It all starts and stops with you. Like if you hold yourself to a certain standard, everybody else that you come in contact with, they gonna either have to remain on the same standard that you're at, or they're gonna have to change. But one way or another, like if they don't, because everybody is an individual, they all have their own options to do what it is that they want to do. If that person does not choose, because it would be a choice, if that person does not choose to adjust the frequency that they are on, you don't have to accept that. You don't have to have that to just be around. That doesn't have to be law. I'm not giving that to you, so I don't expect it in return. And when we hold not only ourselves, but really the people that surround us to different standards, we do get different results. Some people may not like it. Some people may have a fear of actually letting go. Like, you know, if I hold myself to this standard and this standard is the opposite of what another person does, but this person has been in my life for forever, I could possibly lose having them in my life. Is that any kind of way to live? Because then at that point, aren't you still continuing to live your life for other people? When you came into this world, you were your own person. When you go out of this world, you go out of it alone. What type of life is it that you want to live? Do you want to live one that is truly a life of other people? Or do you want to have a say in your own life and what happens? I'll wait. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, okay. I don't know about you, but for me, I want to live a life of my own. Because of living a life of my own, it still includes other people. It's just I come first. And at now, 38 years old, at the time this video was being recorded, I've spent Coltrane. No. I've spent 36 years of my life living and doing it for other people. Because of what they wanted me to do, what I thought they wanted me to do, what I assumed would be best for me as a means to benefit other people. The one area that I did this the most was really in relationships. And while I'm thankful for the experiences and the knowledge that I have now, I do feel like there was a lot of life, not that was wasted, but it could have been done differently. And I can say it would have been done differently. And I say that with an understanding of, if anything, understanding of this piece of knowledge. If anything in my life, if I chose to do it differently, certain aspects of my life would not look the same as they do now. And there are certain things that, while I could accept the fact that they would look differently, there are some things that I'm just like, no, you know, come hell or high water, there's nothing that can change about these things. And, you know, it mostly centers around, like, being able to have my daughter in my life and, you know, stuff like that. Like, I know kids would always be a part of my life, because that's something that I've always envisioned. Like, my little girl is 8 now, or she's about to turn 8 in less than 2 weeks. That's 8 years of seeing her grow, seeing, you know, who she's becoming, personality, characteristics, hobbies, interests, all that stuff. And then the level of love, you know, that she shows to me. If I chose to do anything differently in the past, I wouldn't have what I have now when it comes to her. And I can't have that. Now, I'm at a point now where I am now a divorcee. I am currently single, and that is by choice. And I am on a journey to figure out what comes next for me. I'm still working on what comes next, you know, for her, but she's at an age where she can kind of start to begin to tell me what it is she likes, what she wants, that type of stuff. So it makes it a little bit easier for me. But when it comes to me and what I like and what I want and what I want the rest of my life to look like, nobody else can tell me that. Well, I mean, there's one person that can tell me that. The Lord can tell me that, and I ain't got no choice but to listen to him. But I'm just saying, like, relationship speaking, I am telling myself to come with the same energy. So what I mean in this space of what I'm talking about now is I have to be the person that I seek. So if I want understanding, I have to seek first to understand. If I want transparency, I have to be transparent. If I want effective communication, I have to communicate effectively. If I want, anything as far as like the levels of intimacy, which I ain't getting into because, it's different with different people. I'm just going to be all the way honest about that. But I have to have a understanding of who am I as an intimate person. Because you can't, realistically, you should not get out here looking for something in someone else that you don't already have in yourself. Yes, there should be things that a person can present into your life that will make you look at things a little bit different, that will make you change the way you think about some things, that will open you up to things that you maybe haven't had an experience on, to know, how that plays a part in your life. But you should not look to someone to feel something, FILL, to feel something that is currently missing in you. Because everything that you need, you can get it. Everything that you need, you can have it. Everything that you want, you can obtain it for yourself. It's just like I tell my girlfriend, one, I don't even own my heart right now. That's a level of me matching my own energy. What I mean by that is I told the Lord, hey, can you take my heart? Can you hold it? Can you renew it? Can you repair it? Can you reshape it? Can you keep it until that person that you deem worthy comes along and you can pass it along, just like a father giving away his daughter at marriage. That was my intention behind that prayer and that request of God. And it was also a means of protecting myself from myself, because I haven't always made the best choices when it comes to relationships. Oh, sorry. I need to get a stand for this. I haven't always made the best decision when it comes to relationships and my choices in men and the situationships and all that stuff that I've allowed myself to endure. So in this journey of growth that I'm on, it's just like I had to be in a position to be humble and to be open and understand that I can't even do it. So I can't expect someone else to just come in and make it like new, to make it like all that stuff never happened, that I'm not broken, which I was at that time. Just, it was beyond me. So if it's beyond me, Lord, nothing is beyond you. You can do it. Help me. So now I am, like I said, I'm a divorcee. I'm single by choice. But even though I'm single, I am aware that, I love love. I like to be able to be with someone, but I'm not even talking about in the traditional sense. My understanding as it is right now is not a desire to be in a relationship. I do miss being able to have a partner, that person that I can talk to, that person that I know is going to be there, that person that, we're kind of doing some sort of journey together. And my biggest issue that I always have really in relationships And like I said, all this is a newfound understanding for me. So I hope you, bear with me as I share it with you. It is about, I have an issue with, my kingdom issue is communication and lack thereof. But I didn't even notice that, or I didn't realize that the communication that I thought I was given, it actually ain't on that level. Like, I've been told, oh, well, I didn't know that. And I'm like, oh, how didn't you know that? Like, I felt like I was giving off that energy in my words because you never said it. What do you mean I never said it? Well, you never said it like that. And it's just like, I mean, in certain settings, that can be okay. But it's just like, if I say something and you don't quite comprehend what it is that I'm saying, then there's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, like, I don't get what you're saying. Or ask a follow-up question so that, we can figure this out together. Or make sure that there is no misunderstanding. Y'all don't worry. I do this all the time. I know y'all might be thinking, oh, she gonna put too much salt in this cake. Nope. I do it like this all the time. I don't pre-measure anything or any of that. Like I said, I've been baking for some time now, so I know what it is. But if you don't comprehend fully, or if you don't get what it is that I'm saying, that's okay. What's not okay is not telling me that you don't understand. Because I want us to be on a page of as much of a basic understanding as possible. And I know everybody's not always going to understand 100% like I do, because I have that working knowledge, I have that insider information. But don't feel like you have to 100% be on the same page. Match the energy that it is that you're able to provide, and then whatever else you need, just let me know and we can work on it together. I have no problems with that. But I don't know unless you tell me. And a closed mouth don't get fed. And the mouth could be our relationship suffering because we're trying to match two different types of energy, or we're trying to match the energy on two different situations. The only way to get the energy to change is to make sure you're speaking on it, so that that energy can go out and come back. Like, I don't know. It is my hope that, we as a society can get to a point to where in any type of relationship, and this is just not solely tied to romantic relationships, I would like for this to be a part of all relationships moving forward, is understanding and matching the energy of the world that surrounds you. And it starts truly with the type of energy that you're giving off. And I'm almost done mixing these ingredients. Like I said, this first one I'm doing, it is a little bit of extra measure. It is my red velvet with cream cheese frosting recipe. Going to make it into a double layer 8-inch round cake. Round cake, not brown cake, round cake. Now all I got left is to put the flour in there. But it's just, I just want better for the people that I know, and in turn, like, wanting better for the people that I know that this will reach people that I don't know as well. I just want a different set of standards. I want people to try different things. I want people to try to be better than where they start. Like, you don't have to feel like, oh, this is the person that I've always been, so this is the person that I'm always going to be. You are pretty much doing yourself a disservice with that mentality, because we are designed to be ever evolving. We are evolutionary creatures. We have all kinds of stimuli that produce a response of growth in us. That could be from the things that you watch on TV, the music that it is that you choose to listen to, the hobbies such as this that you are subjecting yourself to, conversations with other people, whether directly or indirectly. All interactions with other people promote this type of situation that I'm referring to as well. Because if you have a job, you are not the same person that you were, even in your previous position. Like, think about being a regular employee. As a regular employee, you are told, like, kind of what to do. You're told what's expected. You are looked at kind of on a lower level, right? At a starting point. I won't say a lower level, but you're at the starting point. So you do your job, you get a whole bunch of good performance reviews. You know, they feel like your value for their company has increased, and they want to put you in a position of management because they've been able to track your journey and see how well you've come along. And then in you doing so, you now have a level of expertise and insight that you can give to help increase their productivity, get good people in there, and just really help the company continue to grow and do great things. Now you're on the other side. So now you have an expectation of your new employees, or the people that you're now over. You have an expectation of them to match the energy that you exhibited to get you in that position. Everything is always a cycle. I honestly think that's why the Lord made the world round. Wedding rings are in a circle. Your life is in a circle. You were nothing until you were formed in your mother's womb. And as you were formed in your mother's womb, a plan was designed for you. You were born into diapers. You die in diapers. You start to stop. Everything begins and it ends. But it all comes back around to the same thing. Matching or coming with that same energy throughout life, it will never be any different. And once you get to a point to where you are able to practice this on a regular basis, so much so to where it becomes second nature. Second nature is the thing that it just happens. You don't even think about it. You've done it so many times that it's become a part of who you are. I'm trying to think of some things in second nature for me. Yeah, that is a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that one. See, y'all got me coming up with stuff that I ain't never even thought about for myself. And now it's my turn to match that energy and to be able to expound and develop on what it is that I'm asking y'all to think about. So that's pretty interesting and pretty cool. But it never stops. For the rest of your life, you are going to be, like I said, on a continuous journey to match that energy. Now watching this video, the only thing I have to ask is, are you going to choose to? Because that's what's going to make the difference. That's what's really going to set you apart from everybody else. That's what's really going to set your universe and your world into a completely different orbit compared to everyone else. And I am at a point where I can understand that I'm really starting to be there, like be in that space. I see it in my friend circle and how like kind of small it's gone down to just like a reserve few. I'm not saying no new friends. I'm saying I'm selective about my new friends. I'm also seeing how it has transformed and transitioned even in my energy. Being the sole protector, the sole provider of my energy. And now that I'm like that, because I used to feel a certain type of way. Like, it's like if I didn't, if I didn't allow myself, if I didn't allow myself to like let people in, and keep in mind, this is the old Nicole. If I didn't allow myself to let people in, I felt some type of way. I felt like I was doing something wrong, like, because it's all I've ever known. As y'all can see, I got a whole bunch of batter left. Somebody wants a red velvet cake, hit your girl up. I sent you a price. But I felt like if I didn't let people in as I was accustomed to, that I was doing something wrong. Or, let me rephrase that. Not that I was necessarily doing something wrong, but it felt unnatural because it went against the way life had shaped up prior to that. So as you can see, like the ring around it is the non-stick baking spray. And into the oven it goes. And at the end of the video, once it's done, I will put up a picture with it. So much so to where it's just like, as I got older, as I'm in the position that I'm in now, where it's me, I'm solo dolo, I live for myself, I function for myself, I'm back to providing for myself. I stopped knowing how to function for a minute. It's just like, that part wasn't a smooth transition. It's like, everything like completely stopped and had to be fully reset before I was able to forge forward and move on and like go again. Which sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it was 36 years of my life that I lived for other people. So I had to expect that now that I'm living for myself, it's a recovery period. It's a transition period where things are going to look completely different, completely chaotic. I don't know how to do this until I say, Nicole, you've done this before. If you did it then, you can do it now. You know what? You sure right. I have. I just need to, again, stay with me. I just need to match or come with that same energy. I've provided for myself before outside of being in a relationship. I've lived for myself before outside of being in any type of relationship or romantic involvement with a man. I did it once. I can do it again. And this is what it looks like. I do any and everything that it is that I want to do. If there are things that I don't want to do, I don't do those either. Because I match and come with the same energy that it is that I want to have. And I expect other people around me to practice the same and to respect my choice for my energy. So the cake is in the oven. It's going to take a minute to bake. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here for right now. Like I said, at the end of the video, you will see a picture of the cake once it is all done, decorated, all that stuff. I may put like a picture series up just so you can see, like, once the layers are separated, the frosting in the middle, frosting around the cake, and fully decorated, just so you can get the grand scale, because, you know, y'all been rocking with me for this long. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share my videos, share your comments, share your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about not only, you know, what you're seeing from my journey, but also yours. Because like I said, I feel like in matching the energy, we weren't designed to do this alone. I look for energy. I look for what people are giving off and what they're willing to receive in return. So connect with your girl. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're feeling. And I'll see you in the next video with the Hennessy Butter Pecan Cupcakes. Y'all have a good one.